Good morning, Year 3. Okay, let's go through the fluency reason and problem solving questions from yesterday. So the first question was 8 multiplied by 3. Now you could have used your skip counting method or your dot paper method. Whichever method you used, you should have got the answer 24. Then question 2. So they drew the equivalent of 2 dot papers really for you. And then you had to write the multiplication sums for both of them. And then you had to put the greater than or less than sign between them. So the first one would have been 3 times 3, or 3 multiplied by 3, which would equal 9. Then the second dot paper was 4 times 2, 4 multiplied by 2, which is 8. So then you should have put the greater than sign between them to show that 9 is greater than 8. Okay, question 3. So Whitney said 8 multiplied by 8 is greater than 2 lots of 8. 4 times 8, sorry. Now, if you look at it in dot paper, I tried to show you it to show that when you draw it in dot paper, suddenly the pictorial really shows you visually what the answer would be. So you can see there's 8 times 8 on the left, and then I've done 4 times 8 in the blue and 4 times 8 in the red, and you can see they're exactly the same. So you should have said something like, I do not agree with Whitney. 8 times 8 equals 64, 4 times 8 equals 32, but because there were 2 lots of 4 times 8, then you would have done 32 add 32 equals 64. So actually they're both the same. And because you've proved it, showing it with the dot paper, you've proved that you understand that question. So question 4. This time there were place value counters that we used to make this dot paper. If you have a look, you can see they were ones. So you had 5 groups and you had 4 items. So 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. And then question 5. This was a little bit tricky. You had to look at this carefully. They were actually tens. So each of the place value counters were tens. So there were 3 groups of 40. So you were doing 3 multiplied by 40. Now the best way to work this one out would have been with repeated addition. So 40 add 40 add 40 equals 120. And then question 6. There are 13 biscuits in a packet. How many biscuits are there in 5 packets? And will I have enough to give each member of my class, 34 children, 1 each? Explain. So you could have used the partitioning method that we used earlier. So 13 would partition into a 10 and 3 ones. And then multiply both of those parts by 5. 10 times 5 is 50. 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. Add these two back together. 50 add 15 is 65. So there were 65 biscuits altogether. So now let's try this part, the second part. Will I have enough for 34 children? Yes, you will, because you've got 65 biscuits. So yes, each child can have a biscuit. And we can work out how many would be left. If we use the 65 and multiply and subtract the 34, we would end up with 31 biscuits left. If you remember, we start with the ones column, so 5 ones subtract 4 ones is 1. And then 6 tens subtract 3 tens is 3 tens, so 31 biscuits left. How did you get on with that? Really good, I hope. Well done, guys. So this is today's task. It's Challenge Friday. Can you have a go at working out all the possibilities? Read the question really carefully, pause the video, and we'll come back in just a moment. Right, let's go through the problem solving. So the best way I find is to actually do this, to physically do it. So you might want to either draw each of the things, each of the items of clothing, or you might want to print out the sheet that we had on the PowerPoint and actually physically move them. Because that way, it's a bit like trial and error. You can try everything. So what I would do is I would start with the blue stripy t-shirt. So I move those two out of the way. And then you can see they've started this one off. So you could have the blue with the blue jeans. You could have the blue with the dark blue jeans. You could have the blue with the orange jeans. And you could have the blue with the green jeans. And then to be systematic, we then change that t-shirt for the other one. So then you can have the green stripe with the blue, the green stripe with the dark blue, the green stripe with the orange, and the green stripe with the green. And then again, being systematic, we've done everything with the green t-shirt. Now let's move on to the orange t-shirt. So it'd be orange with, blue, orange with dark blue, orange with orange, and orange with green. And then that way, you know you've done every single t-shirt and every single jean combination. So it should look something like this. That's how I've recorded it, to make sure that I've got each of the t-shirts with each of the pairs of jeans. So how did you get on? Did you work all that out? Hopefully you've filled in your table of information once you've tried all the combinations. Well done. So there were 3 different types of t-shirts. There were 4 different types of jeans. So the 3 multiplied by the 4 means that there were 12 different combinations. So 12 different clothing combinations. Brilliant. Let's go try the other one. So I've done the same with this one. I cut everything out again so I can physically move it and make sure that I have all the different possibilities. So Eva chooses a snack and a drink. So we need to look at all the different combinations she could have. So I'm going to start with the water. So she could have the water with the pear, water with the apple, water with the donut, water with the sweets, water with the banana. Then she could have the cola with the pear, cola with the apple, cola with the donut, cola with the sweets, cola with the banana. Then she could have the juice with the pear, juice with the apple, juice with the donut, juice with the sweets, and juice with the banana. So that would be all the different combinations that she could have. So I've written it out like this to make sure I had every single one of the combinations, every single one of the possible combinations that she could have. So we know that there are 3 different types of drinks and there are 5 different snacks. So for each one, there are 5 combinations. Now, a bit like we had before, we know that there's 3 drinks, we know that there's 5 different snacks, so 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. So there are 15 different possibilities or 15 different combination choices that she could have. And then the second question said, how many of the ways contain an apple? Well, there's an apple with the water, an apple with the Coke, and an apple with the juice. So there are 3 different ways that contain an apple. I hope you enjoyed doing that, guys. You might want to try some of your own varieties now. So you might want to make up some of your own questions. You could choose your own snacks maybe, your own drinks. See if you can do the multiplication perhaps beforehand and then see if you're right. So it's almost like checking it back through. Now you know how to do it. Check your skills, practice your skills, and get more and more confident with it. Well done, guys. I'll see you next week. See you later. Bye for now.